of reversals.
See why Candice agreed to this match, JR. She should join us on commentary. She can sit on my lap, and we can talk about the first thing that pops up.
Folks, I've got to apologize for the king. I don't know what's gotten into him, but I bet it came in a little group hit. Question some of Candice's techniques from time to time, but there's no denying that she's got a fierce competitive spirit and some serious athletic ability.
Not to mention an incredible pair of legs. I wonder what time they open.
That went nowhere. Excellent counter. What? This could be a pinfall. He was a split second away from a 3 count.
These superstars are putting on a great match so far, JR. But if they drop the ball, these fans will let them hear about it.
I don't think that's going to happen, King. These competitors know that their paychecks come straight from the WWE fans. They're not going to let them down.
Yeah, but if they don't keep the fans happy...
If wishes were fishes, the world would be an ocean. But that's not the case now, is it?
So, how do you think this one's going to turn out, JR?
Honestly, King, I have absolutely no idea. Anything can happen here in the WWE.
But you've got to have a guess, right?
I might, but I'd rather keep it to myself, if it's all the same to you, King.
Oh, boy. These fans have got something on their minds, JR.
Well, they paid for their tickets, King, and they've got a right to say whatever they want.
These superstars sure aren't going easy on each other here tonight.
What do you expect, King? This isn't ballet, you know.
Oh, look out, folks! Chest first under the security barrier.
And that could knock the wind and maybe the fight straight out of it. This is a classic matchup, King. I'm so glad the WWE fans... My God! Head first, right into the ring steps.
That can knock you out cold, JR. We might need some medical attention out here. Oh, man! Having your head smashed into those steps can really do a number on you.
It certainly can, King. And quite honestly, I couldn't blame any superstar for not being able to continue after that. Well, you can't ever accuse the WWE fans of being shy about saying what's on their minds.
You sure can, JR. And I don't think we'd have it any other way.
No, don't tell me. This is too much. These superstars will stop at nothing to win this match.
Well, that's the attitude you've got to have to make it to the top, JR. It's not pretty.
My God, what an impact. A human skull slammed against those unforgiving steel ring steps.
That'll ring your bell for sure, JR. And if this keeps up, someone had better ring the bell and stop this thing. I'd ask you who you want to win this matchup, JR, but it's been pretty obvious since the start of the show who you're... Oh no! This is terrible! You can't let your opponent build this kind of momentum!
Well, all I can say is someone's been eating their vitamins and saying their prayers. Oh boy, the adrenaline is pumping. I think this could be the beginning of the end.
No! It can't end like this! Come on, do something, quick! Yes! That was an incredible move! What strategy?
Strategy, my Oklahoma ass. That's cheating, plain and simple. These superstars are going to put each other through wrestling hell tonight.
They've already got a pretty good start on that, JR.
They have indeed, King. I don't think there's an ounce of quit between them.
Yeah, and that's where things get dangerous. If you're too proud to admit that it's not your night, you might wind up risking your career for a single match.
But at the same time, King, no one makes it up the ladder without pushing themselves to the very limit. It's a very fine line to walk. Look at this! Look at this! You talk about a house of fire, you're seeing it right here!
Yeah? Well, somebody better put out that fire, or this one's not going to end well. Candice is one of my favorite WWE divas, JR. I loved her centerfold. It left absolutely nothing to the imagination.
I guess that's lucky for you then, King, because after hearing some of the lines you've used on the Divas over the years, I'm not sure imagination is your strong suit.
Ouch. You know, look at this, JR. You talk about old school, a grinding forearm to the face.
That's a time-tested method of inflicting excruciating pain on your opponent. And it's only gotten more brutal with age.
I think these superstars are getting some feedback from the crowd, JR.
Nothing wrong with that, King. That's what we like to hear. No one's ever going to confuse Candice with a Mac tactician. But there's more to sports entertainment than knowing 100 different holes.
Yeah, but if Candice wanted to learn a few, I'd be more than happy to show her.
My, what a generous offer, King. And to think, some people say you're not a gentleman.
Oh, man! That's gonna change the tone of this match, JR.
Yeah, and not for the better either. I wish the ref would actually pay attention to what's going on.
I think we're going to find out just how much punishment the human body can withstand here tonight.
I think you're right, King. These superstars seem intent on taking each other to the limit.
I love that attitude, JR. Go big or go home.
Well, these superstars sure aren't going home until this match is... Kick, kick! Kick, kick, connect! This capacity crowd is making their opinions known tonight.
They sure are, JR, and I love to hear it. Did you ever think you'd be watching these superstars compete against each other here tonight, JR?
I had a feeling their paths were going to cross sooner or later, and I'm glad I'm here to see it.
Me too. It almost makes it worth having to sit next to you and listen to those corny expressions of yours. What the heck is a government mule anyway?
It's what you get beat like when you're in the middle of a slobber knock. And if you don't have the guts to stick around, you might run like a scalded dog with a case of the limber tape.
All right, enough! I'm getting a translator before I have to come out here with you again. I think it's pretty obvious which way this one's gonna go, JR.
Well, from my perspective, this is still anybody's match.
I'd like to see things from your perspective, JR, but I'd have to get my head out of my rear end first.
And Lord knows it's been up there for so long that would be no easy feat.
Here's your winner,